Hi readers, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to, I was gonna say my weekend books, but this is really a 2-book kind of short episode because I did just return from the Barnes & Noble where I picked up 2 books. Now, if you follow along with my stories are always behind what I'm actually reading. So in a few days, you'll realize I'm reading currently Kiss Her Once for Me by Alison Cochrun, Pride Month selection, but I do have an idea of the 2 books I'm going to read next. Usually I don't plan it out. So, this next book is not one of those books. This is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. This is pub date for that book. This is Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. And I've read one other of his books, and I enjoyed that. Mother Horror over on Instagram really doesn't connect with his books. I can understand that. There is a very famous horror author whose books I cannot connect with at all. So, but luckily, Riley Sager is not one of those for me. Ooh, my glasses match the book. Okay. So, in Middle of the Night, the worst thing that to ever happen on Hemlock Circle occurred in Ethan Marsh's backyard. One July night, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend and neighbor, Billy, fell asleep in a tent set up on the manicured lawn in a quiet, quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. In the morning, Ethan woke up alone. During the night, someone had sliced the tent open with a knife and taken Billy. He was never seen again. 30 years later, Ethan has reluctantly returned to his childhood home. Plagued by bad dreams and insomnia, he begins to notice strange things happening in the middle of the night. Someone seems to be roaming the cul-de-sac at odd hours, and signs of Billy's presence keep appearing in Ethan's backyard. Is someone playing a cruel prank? Or has Billy, long thought to be dead, somehow returned to Hemlock Circle? The mysterious occurrences prompt Ethan to investigate what really happened that night, a quest that reunites him with former friends and neighbors and leads him into the woods that surround Hemlock Circle, woods where Billy claimed ghosts roam and where a mysterious institute does clandestine research on a crumbling estate. The closer Ethan gets to the truth, the more he realizes that no place, be it quiet forest or suburban street, is completely safe, and that the past has a way of haunting the present. I may not read this next, but I'm going to read this soon because I love the idea of this. And like I said, I don't have an issue with Riley Sager's writing. Now, the reason I went to the Barnes & Noble was to pick up this one, How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive by Craig DiLouie. I recently read episode 13 by him. I enjoyed it. I ended up with some questions about what had happened, and sorry, my nose is running, but questions in a good way. So, this is pub day for this book as well, and I had to run right out and get it, and then while I was there, I picked up the Riley Sager as well. Max Maury should be on top of the world. He's a famous horror director. Actors love him. Hollywood needs him. He's making money hand over fist. But it's the 80s, love an 80s book, and he's directing cheap slashers for audiences who crave only more blood, not real art, not real horror. And Max's slimy producer refuses to fund any of his new ideas. Sally Priest dreams of being the final girl. She knows she's got what it takes to score the lead role, even if she's been cast in only small parts so far. When Sally meets Max at his latest rap party, she sets out to impress him and prove her scream queen prowess. But when Max discovers an old camera that filmed a very real Hollywood horror, he knows that he has to use this camera for his next movie. The only problems are that it came with a cryptic warning, and sometimes it howls. By the time Max discovers the true evil lying within, he's already dead set on finishing the scariest movie ever put to film. And like it or not, it's Sally's time to shine as the final girl. I am looking forward to reading this, so I think I'm going to read this next. And I think I'm going to follow it with horror movie by Paul Tremblay, which was published last week. I can't think of two better books, and if they both work out for me, I might do a video comparing the two. Two better books to go back to back with. Anywho, for July this year, this is kind of a spoiler, I plan to do a Christmas in July reading for a couple of weeks or several books, maybe a week, who knows. I should have probably pushed this one to then, but I needed something light, and especially now that I'm going to read two horror movie books back to back. That is all for me. I've got chores to do. I will see you on the flip side. Could be tomorrow, could be next week. Who knows? I've really got to do some work on this house and maybe set it up so I'm not surrounded by books in a bad way. Anywho, that's all for me. Again, happy reading.